just revealing of the vocal, the lyrics, everything. It's almost so clear that it makes me go like, but you got to have the bravery to just let that happen, you know?
This episode is being supported by Aux, the desktop app that helps you collaborate on music projects with anyone, anywhere in the world, now available on Mac and PC. Click on the link in the description to get 50 gigs of storage for $1.
Sounds like you're in the toilet.
Yeah. Metaphorically, I was.
Yeah.
And when you sang that, did you have effects on your voice when you were singing it? Or
Nah, it was a bit of a weird process. We actually Varispeeded the song up 9%, so it was faster and higher. So I had to sing it way higher than this, and then we pitched it back down to the real one, and it sounds like that.
Right.
Roughly. Yeah, it's quite a common like sort of tape trick, you know, that you would do back in the day, which you can achieve now with Varispeed or similar. Logic's really good at that, actually. Yeah, just you can momentarily speed the whole song up, record at that speed, so when you go back to normal speed, the vocal is going down to that kind of sound or going up to that kind of sound. I mean, it reminds me of you know, like the vocal tone in Strawberry Fields by the Beatles. They didn't do it, I don't think with individual tracks. They just got to the mastering session and were like, can we just slow the whole song down on tape by like 10% so it sounds extra trippy. But yeah, so this song's got like 2 layers of that going on. It's got that record it fast and then slow it down so you get the deeper tone, which again was intentional. We wanted to make Howard sound sad and like and like down in the dumps, I think, right?
Well, it was partly that. Also, I like pitching vocals around. I think it sounds cool. But for me, it was that key that it's in there sucks for me to sing in. So I had to make it either lower or higher, and higher was easier to sing because you can just go falsetto. Varispeed is so useful for me because not only can you pitch songs up and record up there, but you can do that and slow them down. So that's definitely what I did with that. Is you can record it really slowly, which for people who aren't great singers like me, you can make it sound like you're really accurate and can do all the like trills and runs that in my head that's how it should go, but my voice just isn't like acrobatic enough to do those things. So it's quite an expressive way to use Logic, I think, to can kind of bend time.
It makes me think of early house records, say with Marshall Jefferson or something like that. So he would record a piano solo really slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then speed it up so it was like, wow, he's really amazing.
I think doing it with individual parts of a song can make for some really interesting textures. And when you do it with the lead vocal, I mean, that's like the boldest place to do it. And it can be risky. But this song, it really set the tone for the whole record. I mean, we used the same sort of vocal chain and that same four-man, shifty thing on a few songs. And it just became Howard's like character for this song. It really put him in a time and a place. Not only was it recorded like in that way, but then I sort of compounded it with some effects and plugins. And
you had this idea like the first time I played it to you.
Yeah.
You were like, you immediately spoke about doing this, and I thought it was a cool idea.
I just thought it had always been lacking in my production, being able to like glue the meaning of the song to the production. Like there on great records, people pick a certain guitar tone because it fits with that type of song, or they pick whatever it is, whatever instrument you pick, it should have intention. And I just wanted this record to have like the most intention behind it and glue with the production and Howard's demos. And this just little simple trick was one of them. So
today's show is brought to you by our friends at Aux. Our podcast looks in depth at the creative process, but one part of the process that we don't talk about is how painful it can be to manage these creative projects, especially when collaborating with other producers, musicians or vocalists remotely online. Currently, it involves numerous apps, websites and tools for file storage, sending large projects or providing detailed feedback. The team at Aux are here to change that. The Aux app keeps your DAW projects synced up in the background, so you don't have to wait for your collaborators to upload their latest version. And what's unique is that you can leave detailed, time-stamped comments on the track and project stems, making feedback so much more precise and easy to manage. You can also relax knowing your projects are backed up too. The app is free for up to 10 gigs of project files, but there's a special offer for Tape Notes listeners. 50 gigs of file storage for just $1 per month by using the code TAPENOTES, all one word, when you subscribe to the starter plan. Visit aux.app/Tape Notes to get the full details. And now, on with the show.
So yeah, here's the vocal without any of this pitchy stuff going on. So it still sounds a bit more like Howard,
Yeah. Did you re-record the vocals? Or did you? Is this still from that original demo session?
I don't think we did, because that's why there's like a million plugins on it to make it sound okay. Yeah, I think it was pretty much how it came. And then I did a lot of moving and tweaking and whatever. And this is what's doing a lot of the driving force, is this little altar boy sound toys thing. So I'm automating the format to go up and down. And I'm rising it when there's more hope in the lyrics, and I'm making it full when it's more depressing and sad, which was the idea of like gluing it to the production, so you can. Looking for love from everybody right now. So this hole in my heart goes back down. I've been drowning at the bottom, and I don't know how to come back up. Goes low again. I'm trying to turn it all around up. Sinking like a cannonball. Down we go. So yeah, it was like it just sounded cool in this like weird trippy way anyway, but I was like, if it makes sense with the lyrics, then it's the right move to make. I would the vocoder as well, I really think is a key part of the whole record. That also put Howard in this character. You know, there are some harmonies on the record, but it's mostly vocoder filling in the gaps to give it that I don't know what I wanted to give it. It just fitted the character with that whole format thing, pitching around. And I also, because everything he was giving me was so fast as well. I was like, how are you heartbroken and sad, but everything's so thumpingly fast and like really upbeat? And he was like, I don't know, man, it's just how it's coming out. Yeah. And so that gave me very much like 2000s vibes, like housey 2000s, like, I don't know, everything was just fast back then. And this tune in particular was, for me, screaming flawless, that tune.
Right,
absolutely flawless. Yeah. So I had to put the vocoder in. So that middle 8 bit there for sure is like an ode to absolutely flawless, like this bit here where it goes. I was like, oh, that's the most like lush 2000s kind of sort of French housey and 2000s like house thing I've heard in a long time, and it worked because it was so fast and thumping. And so vocoder is all this vocal synth by Isotope. Lots of those different modules doing their thing, and here as well. Yeah, that's something I've always struggled with too, is when a drop comes, not putting more vocal in, because it's like a drop, so it should sound bigger. Whereas this song and the whole record, actually, I was trying my best to always make the lead vocal one single vocal and not like 4, like in F for You.
Yeah, we've never done that with my voice before. Yeah,
just revealing of the vocal, the lyrics, everything. It's almost so clear that it makes me go like, I need to like hide behind the production and the thickness to get by. But you got to have the bravery to just let that happen, you know, and let the sub and the bass and everying else do the talking with the weight of the drop.
We always used to have this.
Should we hear that in action?
Yeah, sure. Got all these A-B parts. You got vocoder. Then just a little. Yeah,
I think that's one of my favourite parts of writing the album this time, was writing the MIDI for the vocoder parts. Yeah. That's just my favourite thing to do. I can do that all day, every day, and live a good life.
Yeah. And when you were writing the words, you'd already established the BPM for the track.
I think I had it like maybe a couple of BPM slower than Guy ended up making it, but yeah, it was fast.
So it was intentional. So you were marrying that kind of emotional...
Well, the thing is, like, it wasn't, it didn't feel that fast to me, because the way that the chords move, it's like a South American sort of thing, where it's dun, 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 dun. It feels like halftime kind of, but then once you put the drums in, it feels really fast. I wasn't imagining the tempo like that. I was just sort of thinking harmony and melody, and it was probably drifting all over the place tempo-wise. But yeah, no, it doesn't feel too fast at all. Like sometimes when we played it out the other day for the first time, it felt slow. I was like, we should speed it up more.
There's something in the ether at the moment, isn't there, of just stuff speeding up. Music's getting faster.
Yeah. I've got this theory about it at the moment, which is like music gets faster and faster and faster, and then at some point around 140, everyone goes halftime again.
Bring it
back.
back
At 70, and then it just starts creeping back up, and maybe it just goes on like that forever.
Yeah.
Some people get lost in GABA and never come back.
You floated off into GABA.